The internet is full of opportunities, but also dangers. Scammers are getting smarter and their schemes more convincing. Anyone can fall for them. One of the biggest traps today? Cryptocurrency scams. They don't just steal your money, they manipulate trust, playing the long game until it's too late. Today's story is a chilling real-life testimony of someone who thought they were making a smart investment until they lost everything. It all started with a simple text. This is Theodore's story. I never imagined that a single message could send my life into a tailspin. But there I was, staring at my phone at 3 a.m., my heart pounding so loud I could practically hear it echo off the walls, realizing that everything I'd worked for, my savings, my future, was on the brink of oblivion. I remember the night I got that first message like it was yesterday. It was late, and my phone buzzed while I was mindlessly scrolling through social media. It read, "Hey there, we chatted in that crypto group last month, remember me?" I blinked, trying to recall any conversation that resembled this, but nothing clicked. I was about to ignore it. Spam messages happen all the time, but something about the username felt familiar. It matched the handle of a person I'd come across on a new cryptocurrency forum. At least, that's what I convinced myself. I took the bait. I replied, "Sorry, I'm not sure I recall. Could you remind me?" And in that moment, without realizing it, I had opened the door to a thrilling, eerie, and ultimately devastating journey. When the conversation started, it felt harmless. After all, I'd been dipping my toes into the world of crypto for a while, mostly Bitcoin and Ethereum. I wasn't a day trader or anything, just someone fascinated by the new frontier of digital currency. The other person, who introduced themselves as Leo, claimed to be from Hong Kong, now living in San Francisco to expand a fledgling blockchain startup. Leo seemed charismatic, knowledgeable, and genuinely excited to talk about the future of crypto. In those early exchanges, I wasn't overly cautious because it felt nice to chat with someone who shared my curiosity. Most of my close friends were tired of hearing me talk about blockchains and tokens. They saw it as a fad or too risky to bother with. But Leo was a breath of fresh air, someone who didn't think I was crazy for being intrigued. And Leo never asked for money, not at first. Instead, he showered me with articles, YouTube video links, and even personal stories about the next big thing in crypto. We'd talk late into the night about how certain altcoins were skyrocketing, or how blockchain technology might revolutionize healthcare. It became my favorite late-night pastime, something to look forward to after a long day's work. One evening, as we bounced around ideas about up-and-coming tokens, Leo dropped a casual mention of a new platform he was helping develop. He described it as a decentralized finance DeFi project that specialized in yield farming. According to him, it was based on a revolutionary mechanism that would ensure stable returns, even in the volatile crypto market. At first, I was skeptical. Most DeFi projects promised the moon, but Leo insisted this was different. "We have real backing," he told me, "private investors, a team of brilliant developers, and we're thoroughly audited by a reputable firm." I'd been around the crypto scene long enough to know that thoroughly audited can sometimes be marketing fluff, but Leo's confidence was contagious. Plus, he never once demanded I invest. Instead, he showcased user testimonials. People claiming they had doubled, even tripled their money. They posted screenshots of successful withdrawals, side by side with pictures of brand new cars and lavish vacations. Like a fish circling the bait, I was intrigued, but not quite ready to bite. Then Leo mentioned I'd be considered an early supporter, meaning I'd get extra tokens as part of a launch bonus if I joined before a certain date. The persuasion was subtle, but it was there. It sparked my greed, and greed can be blinding. Eventually, I decided to test the waters with a small investment, a few $100s worth of stablecoins. The platform's user interface was slick, smooth animations, real-time charts, and an appealing dashboard that displayed my balance in multiple currencies. To my delight, within a week, the dashboard showed my initial deposit had grown by an impressive percentage. Curious and excited, I attempted a small withdrawal to see if the platform was legit. The funds landed back in my digital wallet within a couple of hours, no complications. That was the moment my lingering reservations dissipated, replaced by exhilaration and possibility. Over the next few weeks, I gradually increased my stake. Each time, I'd check in with Leo, who reassured me about market trends and offered strategies. He never failed to be available if I had questions, and his willingness to help seemed genuine. I caught myself fantasizing about paying off debts, maybe even buying a piece of property somewhere peaceful and scenic. It was like stumbling on a secret gold mine that hardly anyone else knew about. I felt special, chosen, and that sense of exclusivity worked its magic on me. But as my portfolio on the platform grew, so did a subtle sense of unease. There were moments when I'd see minor inconsistencies, a small glitch in the dashboard, an unexplained delay in loading certain pages. I'd bring it up to Leo, who always had a smooth explanation: server updates, upgrades to the system, typical beta testing issues. Then another user on the forum privately messaged me. They'd seen me post about the platform and wanted to warn me. They claimed they'd tried to withdraw their funds and got stonewalled. At the time, I brushed it off. I thought maybe they'd done something wrong, or perhaps they were a competitor trying to spread FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. After all, my withdrawals so far were going fine, and I trusted Leo. In hindsight, the more I confided in Leo about other people's concerns, the more skillful he became at maneuvering my doubts. He'd talk about smear campaigns launched by rival projects and unscrupulous actors in the crypto space. His calm certainty and unwavering positivity kept me tethered to his narrative. One afternoon, everything changed. The platform announced a massive update and an exclusive opportunity for major stakeholders. According to the announcement, if you deposited a certain threshold of funds within 48 hours, you'd qualify for a once-in-a-lifetime multiplier bonus. The text was so alluring: bright graphics, glowing testimonials, a countdown timer urging immediate action. I was hooked. By this time, I'd already parked a substantial amount of money there. The thought of missing out on a multiplier bonus triggered that gut-churning FOMO, fear of missing out. And so, I did what I never thought I'd do. I emptied a big chunk of my savings account. I rationalized it, telling myself I'd only keep it there briefly, grab the bonus, and then withdraw. At first, my balance soared on the dashboard. I felt unstoppable enough to fantasize about quitting my job. I planned for how I'd take my parents on a dream vacation, how I'd invest in real estate. It was all so close. At least that's what the platform showed me. That same night, the platform went into maintenance mode. A bold, blinking banner read, "We'll be back shortly. Please check again in a few hours." I texted Leo. No response. I emailed the support team. Automated reply. Several hours stretched into a day, and then 2 days. When the site finally came back online, my jaw dropped. My balance was still displayed, but now there was a message telling me I needed to verify my account by paying a release fee to withdraw my funds. The fee was an absurd amount, thousands of dollars, allegedly to cover transaction costs and anti-money laundering processes. Panic washed over me. I refused to pay. It felt like an extortion tactic. But my funds were frozen unless I complied. My messages to Leo went unread. The project's official social media accounts had vanished. The once bustling forum thread was overtaken by angry voices demanding answers. Slowly, horrifyingly, the truth became undeniable. I had been scammed. In the days and weeks that followed, the magnitude of my mistake hit me like a sledgehammer. I'd lost a substantial portion of my savings, money I'd spent years scrimping and saving. I went through a cycle of emotions: rage at Leo for betraying me, disbelief that I could be so naive, shame at having fallen for a con. I filed complaints with every authority I could think of: local law enforcement, the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, even consumer protection agencies. But in the murky world of international cryptocurrency scams, the odds of recovering funds are depressingly slim. The experience left me feeling like I was floating in a void. My trust in people and online communities was shattered. Months later, I stumbled onto a Reddit thread titled, "The Biggest Crypto Scam You've Never Heard Of," and there it was. A bunch of stories eerily similar to mine. People from different corners of the globe, lured in by friendly strangers promising secret wealth, only to end up penniless. Some had lost their retirement funds, others had parted with entire life savings. Reading their accounts, I felt a strange camaraderie. Yes, we'd all made mistakes, but we weren't alone. My story doesn't end with a triumphant recovery. I haven't won the lottery or discovered an undisclosed stash of Bitcoin. I'm still healing, financially and emotionally. But I have emerged more vigilant. I triple-check everything, rely on reputable sources, and remember that if something sounds too good to be true, it almost always is. So, if you've read this far, consider this my cautionary tale. Don't let the allure of easy money blind you. Don't trust every friendly face that slides into your DMs. Do your own research, stay skeptical, and when that little voice in your head raises a red flag, don't ignore it. Because I learned the hard way that in the wild west of crypto, the difference between success and losing everything can hinge on a single moment of misplaced trust. And believe me, once your funds vanish into the digital ether, there's no waking up from that nightmare. Subscribe to stay informed about all the new scam methods. Together, we can fight them with information and help others stay alert.